Hi, this is Renata. This video is just random. These are just my random thoughts that I've had over the last week, I think, that I just kind of jotted down. So one may have nothing to do with the other. They're just random. And I just want to share them because each one individually is probably not enough to make a video off of. So I just want to just put my thoughts out there. So I'm gonna start with some videos that I watched recently, and I got something out of each of these videos that I want to share. One was by someone, and I'm not even sure how to pronounce his name, but I think it's Noshel Tarsus. And in his video, he was talking about how his targeting began. And he said that his targeting began because he had reported some drug activity to the police. And he said the police started targeting him. And they started doing all these things to him. And that's very interesting that he said that, because that's not the first time I heard that. That the TI had reported criminal activity in their area, and the cops took the side of the criminals. So that was just interesting. That was just interesting. My heart went out to him because it sounds like he's getting targeted very hard because of it, and the police are constantly harassing him. And it just goes to show how morally corrupt these people can be. I mean, you think you're doing something good. You're trying to clean up your area that you live in, that you pay rent in or mortgage in, and this is what happens. And in his video, he was saying that the purpose of surveillance is not to stop terrorism, but is to shut people up. And he is absolutely correct. That is what all that surveillance is about, intimidation. Whereas the surveillance really should be helping the citizens, but it's not. It's not. It's actually working against most people. So that was one of the videos. Another video I watched was by a sister named, her screen name is So-Called Targeted Individual. And she showed a news clip. It was actually on the news, of a Long Island sister, and I think her name was Kim Brock or something like that. And this lady was driving down the street, not the TI, but the clip that the so-called targeted individual showed. The sister in the video, which was, on the news, was driving down the street in her car in a BMW, and the police pulled her over and asked her why she was distracted or something like that. And she said, well, I'm at the light, so I'm listening to my music, and I'm just kind of dancing to my music. And he arrested her and the whole thing. And then I think she got out of jail. I'm trying to remember. She got out. She said they never really processed her and put her in a cell, but they took her down to the station for dancing in her car while she was at the stoplight. Then they told her to come back and pick up your car. She goes to pick up her car, and everything just went left. They told her that she had to be handcuffed while she was waiting for the car. Then they sent the ambulance, and the ambulance said they were going to take her to the car, but they really took her to the mental institution. Got her to the mental institution, forcefully drugged her. She said she just remembered them taking her underwears off of her. It was just bizarre. I mean, I don't know if the lady knows that she's a targeted individual, but it certainly sounds like, they were targeting her. So now she has this lawsuit. I'm going to put that link into the description box so you guys can check that out. I'm going to put the links to all these videos that I'm going to talk about, actually. But that was just amazing. And this lady is a bank executive. She's very intelligent. She was clearly being harassed. Her story reminded me a lot of Sandra Bland. But thank the Lord, hers didn't have that horrible ending that Sandra Bland's situation had. So that was another video that I watched. I want you guys to check that one out. Or you may have heard about it on the news, but I didn't. The other video that I really enjoyed was, I didn't get the name of it, so I apologize, but it was from Lisa, the Wisdom Cafe with Lisa J. She always has very uplifting and very encouraging videos. So this one I particularly liked because she was encouraging TIs to get out and walk. And if you've ever watched Lisa's videos, she's always out and about and encouraging TIs to go on with their life. And I just think that that's just beautiful how she does that. She's a very positive sister, very, very positive. So this video, she was walking, and she was saying that she was walking on behalf of targeted individuals to encourage the rest of us to get out and walk. And I really particularly like that because walking is something I do. And I try to do it often, a couple times a week. So I was very encouraged by that video. I never thought about the fact that, we can walk on each other's behalf, so I'm going to make that my goal the next time I walk. But I really just like her message, how the basic message was, no matter what, don't let the targeting stop you from your normal activities. And just get out there. And walking has a lot of benefits too. It really does. It releases endorphins in your body, and endorphins reduces stress and just makes you feel better in general. So I really enjoyed that video. Lisa has some real good videos out there. So all of the videos that I just mentioned, check those out. I'm going to put the links in the comment section. So those are some of the videos I enjoyed this week. Also, what crossed my mind is how this targeting can just consume you. And it can just take over all of your thoughts 24/7, which is exactly what they want. But I want to encourage people to keep your good memories in the forefront of your mind. And we've all had good memories, maybe not in the last however many years you've been targeted, but we've had good memories in our life somewhere, I should hope. So we want to try to keep those memories fresh, and one of the ways we can do that is by bringing out pictures, of better times of our loved ones. And even if they turned on you and betrayed you, you love them anyway. You bring out pictures, you try to remember those days. Just try to remember those days. And if any of those people have turned on you, just pray for them. Pray for them, but definitely try to remember those times where you had laughter and you had good times in your life. And if you do have people, family and friends in your life, cherish that. And try to be around them as much as possible. Talk to them on the phone, whatever, social media, however you can connect with them. Try to stay connected. Okay, like I said, this video is just going to be random, okay? So nothing's going to connect with the next thing. It's just random thoughts that I want to process. Okay, so something I saw in the news is that meat causes cancer. And it was saying too much processed meat causes cancer. So that's going to be your hot dogs, your bologna, or, all that kind of processed stuff. But it was also saying beef causes cancer. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. But I just feel like it's another deception because, how long did you guys know this before they're letting us know? I mean, all of us have eaten meat in our lives somewhere. Even if you're a vegetarian or vegan now, at some point, I'm sure you ate meat. And I've been a vegetarian, it didn't last long. I think I was a vegetarian about maybe 4 months. And honestly, I can't even say that I ate real healthy then because I found myself eating more pasta and junk food. I love pasta. Pasta is not that healthy though. If you eat it a lot, it can be very fattening. So I don't think I did the vegetarian thing the proper way. I did eat vegetables because I like vegetables, but I didn't eat the majority of vegetables. I think I ate more pasta than anything. So if I were to do the vegetarian thing again, I would try to do it the proper way. But with that being said, I don't even know if vegetables are as healthy as they once were because of the genetically modified stuff, number one, but also the chemtrails. The chemtrails contain all kind of stuff that I'm sure is going in the soil, and the vegetables come out of the soil, so I don't even know if that's healthy. But I mean, we have to eat something, so I guess we have to pick the lesser of the evils. But yeah, meat is causing cancer. So that is something that we all need to be aware of and do your research on that. I don't know what we're supposed to eat, but like I said, I guess we're going to have to pick the lesser of the evils when it comes to the food because it's all pretty messed up. Okay. The banks. Several banks are starting to do retina scanning. They're sort of trying to phase out the ATM cards, the credit cards. So they're going to scan your retinas. And this is several banks. I should have written down which banks they were, but this is several banks. ATM cards are starting to have microchips in them. And that is because, if you remember, I believe it was at the beginning of this year, they were saying that, I think it was Target stores and some other stores, or banks. I think it was Target store and Bank of America, if I remember right. They had their customer information compromised. And they said someone had hacked into their system and got all the customers' financial information, their social security numbers, yada, yada, yada. Okay? I'm sure you guys remember that. Well, because that happened, which some people say that was a false flag, I don't know. No way to prove these things. But since that happened, now they're saying they have this new, secure, fail-proof way where hackers cannot get into the personal information. And that is by having a microchip in the ATM cards. So I got mine in the mail. I didn't use it at first, but they're phasing out the ones that don't have the microchip. So you will not be able to go to the ATM if you don't use that one with the microchip. That's not sitting well with a lot of people. However, that's what it's coming to. You won't be able to, and I guess you can go in the bank physically if you want to withdraw, but some banks charge you to go up to the window now. I don't know if all of them do, but I know for sure some of them do. So I don't know any way around that. I think for now there may be a few places that are still taking the ATM cards and the credit cards without the microchip. You may be able to go to a few stores. But for the most part, these bankers are forcing everybody's hand at this because the stores, they won't do business with the stores who will not receive that microchip ATM card. Okay, so all of the stores are going over to that model. So you're going to have to decide if you want to use that or not. I'm sure that's just another tracking device. And now, on the news today was driver's license are also going to start having the microchips. From what I hear, a few states are pushing back on that. They don't want to do it. But again, it's going to be one of those things where no matter how much they push back, eventually they're all going to comply. And so your driver's license will have microchips as well. Here in California, our driver's license has some sort of scanner thing on it. It's not necessarily a microchip. but it's some sort of scanning thing where all of our information is in this little chip kind of thing. But it's not a chip. I don't even know what you call it. But I'm sure it's going to change too, and everything's going to this microchip model. Okay. So, what am I saying? What I'm saying, this is what I'm thinking. That with all this microchip technology that's happening now, I believe that all of this is the precursor to the microchip implanted in your right hand, as the Bible says, or your forehead. I think all of this is a precursor. That they're starting here, and before you know it, you won't be able to buy or sell, as the Bible says, without this mark of the beast, which I believe it to be the mark of the beast. I know others think that there are other things that are the mark of the beast, but I believe it's the microchip. And I believe that all of this ATM, driver's license, eye retina scanning, all of this kind of stuff, I think is just the beginning. And they're going to continue on until you have to get it into your hands. So, it's no time to be on shaky ground. For the Christians, we really cannot be on shaky ground. We have to decide in advance. When you see these things coming, I mean, most TIs are very awakened. And so we have to see these subtle signs, because these things don't happen overnight. They're very subtle. This stuff is ushered in very subtle. So we have time to decide what we're going to do. What you going to do? When that time comes where they say, okay, you worked this week. If you want your paycheck, you have to get it in your hand. What are you going to do? Not saying that's what they're going to do, but they're going to do something similar. So you have to decide. Because it might be a matter of eating or starving. Sleeping in your house or sleeping on the streets. You know? And that's what I see. That's what I see. Okay. The other thing I have written down here is the churches are going to be used along with celebrities to deceive the masses and to usher in this new world order. Now, the new world order is here. It's been here a while, but it's not fully developed. It's not fully developed. Agenda 21 is part of it, and it's in the works as well. It's very subtle too. Do your research on that if you haven't. I talked about that on one of my calls a couple weeks ago, so you can check that out if you like on TalkShoe. And the call ID is 114616. Okay, TalkShoe.com for those of you who don't know. But my point is, the churches will be used to deceive the masses along with celebrities, because we are idol worshipers. People listen to the celebrities, love the celebrities, and they're going to use them. They're mind controlled anyway, so they're going to use them to get people to go to FEMA camps and whatever else they want them to do. They already use them, actually, but they're going to use them even more. And the same with the churches, because people, worship their pastors. Some people feel their pastors can do no wrong. So just be careful. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. Okay, this is no time to play. It's time to make up your mind who you're going to serve, as the Bible says. Choose this day. No time to play with this, because it's moving faster than we think. And they use television, sports, and all these distractions to keep us from seeing how they're rolling this out. They're rolling this stuff out. They're rolling it out real fast. Okay. What makes some people stronger than others? I just wonder that, because I know people who have been through so many things in their lives, not even having to do with targeting, but just so many things in their lives. And it just seems like they're doing so well, and they're so well adjusted. And I know that they do have some issues, of course. Everybody does. We all do. But they seem so well adjusted. They seem to have overcome the hurdles in life and did the things they need to do to, get their life on the right path. And I know that they've been through a lot because I know some of their stories, and I'm sure you guys know people like that too. But then you have others who just can't seem to pull it forward, to keep going. And I just wonder, like, what makes one able to achieve and then the others just can't seem to kind of do it. And I think the answer to that is courage. Really, like just the courage to go on, even with everything that we go through as targeted individuals. It can be really hard. It can be extremely hard just to face another day, and it just takes courage, and it takes willpower, and it takes that inner strength that we all have, but sometimes we don't realize we have. So I just want to encourage people to just stay strong and just keep going. I read a quote that said, Courage is you feeling the fear, but doing it anyway. And it went on to say that courageous people seem like they're not afraid of anything, but they are. But they do it anyway because they know it has to be done. And that's exactly what it is. It is courage that's going to get us through this. No matter what we have to face, we can face it. It may not feel like we can, but we can. And speaking of facing things, once you do face something and deal with something and kind of get past something with your targeting, once you've already overcome that, they can't target you that way anymore. You know what I mean? So just as I just gave that quote, just feel the fear, do it anyway. No matter what it is. If you want to go somewhere but it scares you to go there, do it anyway. Have the courage to do it anyway. And then you've overcome that. And they can't target you that way. Their targeting won't be effective anymore. So just constantly challenge yourself to move forward. Also, look for the meaning in everything. I am one of those people who believe that every single thing in this world happens for a reason. Good and bad. I do. So look for the meaning. Look for the purpose. You never know, whatever you're going through, you could be on your way to a breakthrough, to overcoming that thing or whatever it is, that you're going through. Look for signs, look for direction, look for answers. Sometimes answers may come through other people. Sometimes it may even come through dreams. You never know. Someone put on one of my videos that she gets her answers through songs sometimes. So you never know. You never know. All right. And I guess lastly, I just want to encourage people to talk, process. I call it processing. Some people call it complaining. Some people just call it just sharing or talking. But however you do it, get it out about your targeting. Talk about your targeting. Because they don't want us to share stories. They don't want us to share stories. Because hearing someone else's story helps you to get through your situation. Maybe they had a situation very similar to yours. I can't tell you how many times I thought I was the only one that certain things happened to with the targeting, only to hear other people's videos or something to see that they go through that too. So that gives me hope that if they got through it, I can too. So they don't want us to share for a number of reasons. They don't want us to share for that reason because it'll help us to get through it. It's like a support system. They don't want us to expose, their dirty deeds that they're doing. They don't want us to tell anybody about that. So I just want to encourage you that if you're not afraid that your targeting will get worse, because I know it does when you expose, it does. Mine does too. But going back to courage, just have a little courage. We have to expose these people or this will never end. Don't let them intimidate you, because it's all about fear and intimidation. So that is really it. That's all that I really wanted to share today. These were just some of the things that were on my mind. I did want to end with a quote, but now I can't see where I put that. But actually, it had to do with the song Take Me to the King. If you guys know that church song, you can look it up on YouTube. It's called Take Me to the King. But one of the lines in that song, it says, your soul has to refuse to die. And I just want to say that to the TIs. We cannot let these people kill our soul. We cannot. We have to make sure that our soul refuses to die. So those are my random thoughts. If I have more, maybe I'll make a video. So God bless and stay strong, everybody.